All right, party people in the place to be, vandals, and all you cyberized Borg cats and dogs and bunnies out there. This, of course, is a brand new episode of Pink Spots, a shorter version of Pink Buzz, where we kind of take a look at one specific book. And tonight we are looking at the wonderful We
Sorry, we,
Three.
we three. Yeah, sorry, I was taking a sip right as you cued me in. Sorry about that. Yeah, we three. Grant Morrison. Let's see. I have it on my tablet right here. We got Frank Quitely, who's the artist. Um, where are the credits here?
Jamie W. Grant is the colorist and digital inker.
Mm-hmm.
Todd W. Klein, or I guess Todd Klein, I guess the W is just part of the
Mm-hmm.
font thing, is the letterer. And We Three is created by Grant Morrison and Frank Quetley. And, like, there's
Yeah.
no designer on the book. Oh man, we can't get in
Uh,
trouble.
uh, it's probably on the next page. Actually, there's a bunch of other credits. But man, the way they write the credits, it's little like kind of red, and wherever they put it in white, right? So
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell am I looking at here? Yeah. Yeah, on the following page, they have a bunch of other, like Karen Berger, because this was originally a Vertigo book when they were still in business.
I think
Uh,
it's only a Vertigo book. Like I don't see Warner Brothers selling this off.
yeah. Didn't get.
I wouldn't.
I thought I saw a re-release through Black Label.
Yeah, Black Label is basically the
Yeah,
Neo Vertigo, though. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I
That's
thought
where
I
they put
saw a
out.
reprint. Yeah, I thought saw a reprint version of it under the Black Label banners. So, which is still DC's. So, you
Yeah,
know. Mm.
which I wouldn't be surprised if a couple years they just changed Black Label back to Vertigo. I would. I think it'd be classy once you kind of get like a little hype for it and like get the nostalgia built back up for Vertigo,
Mm.
which I see as ever growing online ever since they went out of business. So that's pretty cool. At least they
Mm.
got a little notoriety
But
posthumously.
that's just like marketing gimmicks to try to generate interest in something like, oh, we'll close Vertigo and start Black Label, something new, even though it's pretty much just Vertigo, like you said, under a
Yeah,
different
but like to tell you
under
the
a different
truth,
name.
I'm glad they brought out Black Label because if they tried to put out Batman books as Vertigo books, I'd be pissed as a Vertigo fan because
Yeah, I
Vertigo.
guess. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it was warranted for them to have a separate label, but I hope at some point they do separate them back out because I noticed that they're doing Fables again. They're bringing back a lot of, well, I guess because the Sandman shit's always kind of going to
Sandman
be
universe. Yeah,
popular, but yeah, for a while that died off for a bit, but they brought it back with the James Tinian Nightmare Country, and then with
yeah.
Pornsak Picachote and Jeff Stokely's Dead Boy Detectives,
Well,
which
they
is,
started it with the Dreaming,
yeah, but that kind of
the
died
way
off.
back. Yeah, but
All those
they put
books
out a
got
bunch of those
canceled,
ones. Yeah, like
and I thought
Hellblazer was part of it. What else was part of that initial launch
House of
relaunch?
Whispers, right?
Yeah, House of Whispers, the Magic Book of Magic, right, with the kid.
And Lucifer by Dan Waters.
Lucifer. Yeah, that was the other one. Lucifer was part of like the Sandman universe relaunch back after Vertigo closed down. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, like some of those were the last books that were actually called Vertigo to get put out. I think like the first Hellblazer, like the first arcs of like all those books actually got released at Vertigo.
As
So,
Vertigo. Yeah.
but this book here. Oh, before we get into it, do you have a shout out, Joey? I actually haven't read anything since Friday. So,
No, I've been like working because our 50th episode is Friday, so I've been kind of busy pulling clips and stuff for our 50th episode. So we're gonna look back on the first 50 and kind of revisit some of our favorite moments. So I've been working on that. But I started rewatching Happy because after reading it, I want to rewatch the first season. So I watched the first few episodes of that. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I didn't really read much, so
and next week's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on my favorite Grant Morrison book, graphic novel. So,
yeah, Happy. Yeah, yeah. That was good, man. I'm looking forward to talking about that one next Tuesday. Should be fun.
but this book here, this is like the perfect way to do a three shot in my opinion. Like it's
It
short, it's sweet, but like it trims, it's got no fat attached to it. It doesn't get bogged down in backstory. It kind of
mhm.
jumps in towards the end of an experiment, and I really
Yeah,
like that about it. I really like that it doesn't drag with so much exposition and plot. It's just like, okay, this is what's happened so far, and this is what's going to happen, and that's all you get. And I think it's really neat. I think it really
yeah,
is a
and there's something really clever they do to add to the story is each book starts with a missing poster of
yes.
one of the We3. So it gives you a backstory that these animals were stolen from families to do experiments on. So it kind of it's not like they went and picked these animals up in like a pound or abandoned or they raised them. Like they stole these animals were domestic pets that were loved by someone that got kidnapped and put into a lab and experimented on. And that whole part of the story they don't explain, but they explain it by just one simple page at the beginning of each issue with a missing poster with one of the animals' pictures on it, which I think is really cool, super effective way of telling that part of the story without actually, going into huge detail and stuff. So
Yeah,
yeah,
without having to do like the whole Barry Windsor Smith
backstory.
Weapon X backstory, because like
Yeah,
basically that's all I can really imagine is people like pouring cat coffee on him
yeah.
and stuff like that. Like, and
Like, and it's just like any missing, like issue one. It opens with the dog, the missing dog, right? It's a brown Labrador, mix, friendly, approachable, answers to bandit, reward with a phone number, right? So you get the dog's name because through the story they don't really have names. They refer to each other by one, two,
one,
and
two, and
three.
three. Yeah.
Yeah. So with those missing posters, it kind of adds a humanizing element where they're actually part of a family. They had a name. Someone cared for them. Someone loved them. So it adds to like the gut wrenchingness of the story later on that like what these animals went through, right?
Oh
Mm.
yeah, this book will tug at your heartstrings. I mean, it's really fun at the same time, and but it's a little heart wrenching because it is very well written, and it's about house pets, and of course they drew the cutest dog possible. The cat's a little asshole, but you love him
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah,
Tinker the cat, yeah,
yeah.
and
He's
then
like he's always ready for action, right? He's always ready to turn and like fight and
and talking shit
yeah,
stinks, man. It stinks.
stinks. Yeah, everything stinks. Humans stink. Yeah, yeah. And I
And
love
then
how they
Pirate the bunny.
yeah, cute. One of the cuter like with his ears kind of hanging out and stuff, super cute. Yeah, really adorable. And the suits they make too aren't they're not menacing, right? They don't look menacing, like especially if you look at the cover, like they put them in those, it's almost Easter like the colors, right? Like on the, if you look at the cover, like in the story I think they're all gray. I don't think there's too much in
Yeah,
the
but yeah,
actual.
and the on the cover, the dogs is like a pastel blue, the cats is like a pastel green, and the bunny's in a pastel pink. So yeah, they almost are like Easter egg
Easter eggs,
looking.
yeah, they almost look like Easter eggs, which adds to the cuteness of it, right? So yeah, it plays off that. Oh, I guess you see they're more subdued. You notice it more on the cover, but throughout the story, it's a little more subdued. It almost looks like a really light colored gray, like either in a greenish tone or mm, mm, yeah. So
But I mean, like this book really hits the ground running. It like
yeah,
we said, it doesn't drag with backstory, and it starts with the assassination of a dictator. He's kind of doing his daily routine, and then he just gets perforated through his door. And you get told about how this tremendous operation was pulled off by this really cool. I mean, not cool, but at the same time cruel government experiment where they have basically made these cyborg, or I guess they call them biorgs, of these animals, and these are only the beginning ones. You also kind of see that they have like these weird rats with screwdriver heads and stuff like that are made to kind of be like living power tools. Like there's some weird stuff going on
mm,
at the beginning of
mm,
this book, but
yeah.
it, it but it
It
kind of like
it would have been because, like you say, at the beginning they show the three of them, but they don't. You just see they're like got some a mech suit or something. You don't really see. You just see they're like robotic type creatures. So it would have been cool, like we know what it looks like because of the cover. But I liked how they built the suspense, like where you don't really know what it is. Is it alien? Is it this? Is it that? So you don't really know. Like we know because we see the cover before we read it, but the way it's set up, it's like you don't know what it is. Is it like aliens or just robots? And then later on we find out that yeah, it's animals in mech suits.
Yeah.
But it's
And
really
you
good how he did that beginning, like you said, where you see the just the lights through the grates. Uh, you see little flashes of light, and then the way you see like the terrorists or whoever they are, like they catch glimpses, like what the fuck is that? And then they all start panicking, and before they know it, they're all dead.
just get perforated. Yeah.
Yeah, the super stealth. Like animals are good at sneaking around at night and stuff. So, mm, especially cats.
Yeah, and the cat is basically like set up to be kind of this ninja. You kind of get like a little bit of backstory where you meet like the scientists that are behind it, and you don't really see too many of their faces besides Dr. Roseanne Barry, the
Yeah.
female who really kind of trained them and is closest with them.
Mm.
And basically, you end up finding out that this was their last test as part of this subject, and they're going to be moving forward with new animals, and they're going to decommission these ones, but the general is stupid enough to say it in front of the dog that
Mm.
doesn't fully understand, but he gets it.
Yeah.
He's very clever,
Mm.
and the decommish word he does not understand, but it scares the hell out of him. So it's a really neat series of pages. It's set up almost like a Guy Ritchie, like the beginning of Snatch, where you're looking at the surveillance cameras and you see all the different angles. And
Yeah.
the doctor, she feels bad about what's going to happen, so she's going to go to the pets to have them kill her. But at the same time, they're actually escaping and they're just tearing ass through the place.
She sets him loose, right?
Well,
Yeah,
she's going
before.
to, but they're already out before she gets
Oh,
there.
is that what happened? I thought she like put in some kind of code to release them. Okay, so they do that on their own. Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah, because she
All right,
goes
I
to
got
set
it.
them loose, and she wanted them to take her out on their way out, and they were already gone.
Gone. Yeah, which was when you go, you could see the in the wake of their escape. Like they take out quite a few soldiers and government workers,
Uh,
military people at the
yeah,
same time.
because the dog has like surface to air missiles, and the cat like shoots these little things out of its claws. It's literally got
Yeah,
like little claw projectiles that are really cool.
mm,
Like there's one scene where just just shows them shredding these
yeah,
soldiers with them.
yeah.
It's so gnarly the way that Frank does his little panel layouts like that.
He's really good at drawing like mechanical stuff, eh? It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that he should do more comics with animals and or robots or robot animals in them
Mm,
because he really does excel at them.
yeah, because I like the shot with the truck where you see like an X-ray shot of the truck that they transport them in. You see all the
Oh,
guys
okay, yeah.
sitting there. Yeah, that shot's pretty cool. That one, yeah, that's a cool shot. I really like that one. You kind of see the inside. That's pretty cool. I dig that. Yeah, Frank Whitley does a great job on the art on this. Yeah, and they've worked together before, right? On a few other projects.
Like they done Superman All
Superman.
Star. They did. I know Frank does a lot of covers for Grant's work, whether he's
Yeah.
actually doing interiors or not. I think they're pals, but I don't think they've actually collaborated. I mean, they worked together on X-Men a bit.
Mm,
Um, there was
yeah.
other artists involved in that as well, but like Frank did do a lot of cover work and he did a
Yeah.
lot of interior work for that as well. And I'm thinking he did another DC book with him. I just can't. Yeah, he did Batman and Robin with him.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with Professor Pig.
Mm, yeah. And then you were getting to the part where they introduce the rats after they
Oh
escape,
yeah.
or is it just before they escape?
Oh, that's when they're on the train tracks
Mm.
and the rats show up and oh man, that part is gnarly, man. Like I didn't clip the panel, but when Bandit actually like has got that one rat just hanging out of its mouth and like
Yeah.
and the rabbit at some point gets hurt, number three, and its tail is busted and it's trying to get somebody to fix it, but like the other the cat and the dog don't know how, and it turns to ask a train for help, and the train isn't going to be very much help. So it kind of accidentally performs an act of terror, but it's adorable the way it happens. Nevertheless, and this train just gets exploded, and you see how just fractured and animalistic these animals are, even though they're trying to be good and cute. Like Bandit actually pulls like this dead body out of the river. It's like halved. It's a
Yeah,
really gnarly shot, and he's
kind of
just like, "Dog,
saving it.
dog's good though, right? Dog's good."
Yeah, he thinks he's saving him, but he doesn't understand. Yeah, yeah,
And there's
yeah.
some really, really cute, really heart wrenching parts like that in this book.
See, the other Lost and Found was issue 2. The beginning of issue 2 was, hey, Cookie. The beginning of issue 2 is the Lost poster for the cat. Lost, Tinker. Tinker is the name of the cat. There's a ginger striped cat with a white nose and a white tip on her tail. Last seen outside the laundromat on whatever street. Yeah. So the cat's name is Tinker. We find that out at the beginning of the second issue. Mm,
And the
but
cat steals the show in this book. I mean, I hate to say it, as a cat lover, I was probably gonna veer that way anyways. But it's just so merciless and kind of crude. But like, it thinks what you're thinking. Like the dog's like, "Oh, we gotta find new boss. We gotta find home," and the cat's just like, "I think one knows zero. I like one sucks. One stinks. You know, like there
yeah,
is
yeah,
no home."
yeah, 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 yeah. When they're running away. Oh yeah, and the rabbit lets little like projectile missiles poops out his bum,
Yeah.
like little round like rabbit turds, but they're actually like bombs, like little round. Uh, yeah, that's funny. Where he's jumping through and he's just letting them rip. But it's like cute, like it's cute little things like that. You think, oh, the little rabbit's poop is bombs, and then you look down at the panel and you see a guy's like just the top of his head with no jaw, and you just see his spine of his neck hanging out and stuff. And then you're like, okay, that's not as cute as the result isn't as cute as it kind of initially looked to be.
Yeah, I mean, because the chaos that they show that these animals can let loose is just amazing. Especially the way Frank depicts it. It's
Mm-hmm.
really cool action sets, and like, yeah, these animals, they're cute and everything, but they can mess some stuff up, and they're,
Yeah,
as you learn, they're getting ever closer to a city, which they finally do eventually get to, and they get found by this homeless person
homeless
who
man. Yeah,
is going to get some booze and some tools to help them.
yeah, that's true. Like you think, oh, you see him. Oh, and that's a sad part too. Is before they get to the city, they hit the road after the train, where they meet the man and his son on the road with their dog, and they're just asking for help. But the people, they're scared, right? Because they're in the mech suits, they don't understand. So like the father pulls a gun with his son and like stay back, and then the dog goes to attack. So the rabbit, and anyway, they shoot the rabbit, and that's where the rabbit gets hurt. He gets one part of his ear shut off. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's
then Bandit and Tinker like go at it. Like Tinker just slices the dog's head clean off with one swoop, and then Bandit attacks the father.
and he
Uh,
just cuts to red. Yeah.
yeah, you don't see what happens to the son. They cut. Yeah, it cuts to red, and
Oh,
it's not even,
the general says that they found the kid wandering about 100 yards away from the body, so like they didn't hurt the kid.
okay. So they felt that the kid was harmless, so they didn't attack him. So they're not mindless killing machines, unlike another
Yeah,
animal
this one
project.
sets.
Yeah, once they get to the city, yeah, they get closer to the city, so they're like, well, we got to handle this situation now. So they get this big,
Bull
mus-
mastiff.
it's a bull mastiff. Yeah, they get him. Like you see him in the cage there. Yeah, he's big. Yeah, intimidating. He looks intimidating, and that's when you see the doctor. Now she starts to get nervous, right? She's like, uh oh. Yeah,
And they're basically going to use her to lure the pets to the big dog, weapon
yeah,
4, animal weapon 4, which is what this guy's called. I refer to him personally as Debo. Like,
yeah. And that's how they end issue 2. They introduce their nemesis, the big ass a mastiff that's going to hunt them down. And then issue 3 starts up with another missing poster, which is made by uh, a little
Looks like a
girl.
little kid, right? Yeah.
Yeah, by a little girl. Yeah, Lost Rabbit. Can you help us find Pirate? The rabbit's name is Pirate. That's a cute name. He, he is white with a brown patch over his eye. He likes lettuce and carrots. Thank you, Johnny and Claire. So it's two kids. So Johnny and Claire are the two kids, and the writing's done, and like you can see, it's kids, right? So yeah, it's pretty cute. I love that part of the story. I thought it was so effective the way they did that. Yeah.
Yeah. All the backstory you really needed is to know the animal's name and kind of like where they came from, and
Mhm. Yeah,
and they were able to do that with just simple wanted posters at the or missing posters.
yeah, that's pretty cool. And then it starts with, like you said, issue 3 starts with them finally getting to the city, and they're hiding out because they've been through a lot, and that's when they we get introduced to this homeless man that finds them and feels bad for him, so he wants to go find tools, booze, and maybe a little food to feed them. And by this point, we didn't touch on is these animals are injected with some kind of antibiotics or something because they have wires and stuff kind of wired
Yeah.
into them. So they have to give them medicine so they don't get sick or infections. So now it's been what usually they can last, I think they said 48 hours about
Yeah.
before the
2 or
infection
3
kind
days,
of
I
kills
think
them.
is what the
Yeah.
doctor said.
Yeah. So right now it's been a good 24 hours. So you see like the cat starting to get sick and stuff and the dog too. So they need to find a solution. And then that's why the homeless man sees that they're in rough shape. So he wants to try to help them. Mm.
And he gets him some food and stuff, but that's a little short lived because when he leaves to go help them, the police are kind of showing up to the scene with Weapon 4, and we get
Yeah.
a really sweet fight, like
Yeah.
really cool.
Action sequences, nice panels in this. Yeah, where number 4 shows up. Yeah,
And he kind of gets the advantage. One of the members gets perished, which is really sad. There's a really gruesome panel. I think you showed it in the intro. I
pirate,
didn't clip it though. Yeah, pirate
pirate.
gets.
Yeah, pirate. It faces number 3. Pirate is number 3. He's pretty brave for. He's the smallest one, but he's brave. He's ready to. He's loyal. He stands up for his friends, kind of like Bandit. You know, they're pretty tight, the 3 of them. So he tries
But
to headbutt the dog uh, for the mastiff, and he's no
yeah,
match for him. Yeah, he
this
just
kind
throws
of
him.
one-page breakdown with the two halves, but like them doing the double team on Weapon 4 is just so neat. I love the way this is broken up into the two cubes, like
Yeah, yeah,
boom, boom. And that's about as far as I'm going to take the story. I will say that it has a somewhat happy ending. I'm not going to spoil
yeah.
like what exactly happens with the end of this because I want people to be able to still read this and enjoy it. Kind of give you a little bit of the synopsis, but at the same time not ruin it for you because this one adequately really gets you thinking that gets you kicked right in the stomach, gets you feeling a little down. But the end is really nice. It's really satisfying, and I think it's pretty cute. I think that
and
it's a pretty
and it definitely kept me guessing. Like I wasn't sure how it was gonna end, right? So like Pat
yeah
had read it, and she's like, "Oh, it's pretty sad, right?" So I was like, "Oh." So as I'm reading it, I'm thinking like worst case scenarios and this and that. So yeah, it's a fun story, and like issue 3 is action packed. Like I think issue 3 is probably the most satisfying issue of the 3. And like you said, the pacing is amazing. They don't drag it. He doesn't drag anything out in this. Grant Morrison really, like you said, he trims the fat. He gets to the point. You know, and like a lot of situations like this, they don't fuck around either, right? Like valuable assets escape. Like the military is not going to take weeks to try to track them down. They're going to find and eliminate as quickly as possible. And I think a 3-issue series and the pacing reflects that really well. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like always, I would have liked a little more, but at the same time, I don't know how well it would have thrown off how good it just all rolled off the tongue if they would
Yeah.
have added more to it. So, um, at the same time, I'm really happy that the proposed Disney version of this movie of this never got made because I was so worried about that when that was slated for the longest time. But it seems to like completely be out of production at this points. So I'm hoping somebody interesting might be able to pick it up and make like a nice film out of it.
Keep
I hope they don't try to put too much into it though. I hope they keep with the theme of the book and
yeah,
the
keep the
simplicity
tone.
of it.
Don't make it like for kids, because it's not really for little kids. It's a very
No,
it's a,
like
it's
this
a
book
very
really reminds
R-rated. Yeah,
it reminds me of stuff that I watched when I was a kid, like Watership Down and The Plague Dogs. Movies that were supposedly for kids in the '80s, but like nowadays people say that they're all traumatic and they'll fuck your brain up if you watch them. Type of
yeah.
movies, like. But
But I love that shot, the clip, the full page there, the splash page of the cat that we used for the banner. That's a great shot. Love that shot
yeah, man.
with the lightning in the background and stuff. It's
Yeah, the
so
Dark
good
Knight
with the
Returns
rain.
cover, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's so awesome. Such a nice shot. Yeah,
and
it is
Tinker's.
dark. It is dark for kids, Cookie. That's what I meant. It would have to be like I wouldn't want them to like lighten it up at all for a younger audience, like because the subject matter is pretty serious. It's military kidnapping animals to do tests to make them killing machines, right? So, like, I don't know. I don't think it's something you should try to lighten up for kids and stuff. Like, it's right off the bat, it's very dark and kind of
Well, it's already taking a
somber
really
subject
nasty.
matter.
It's
Yeah,
taken. It's
exactly.
already taken a kind of dark subject matter and made it cute with the robot suits and stuff like that.
Mm,
Whereas animal testing is such a just a grim, terrifying, terrible subject. You know what I mean? So they've
yeah,
already, in my opinion, cutified it as much as they could with the graphic novel without completely neutering the sentiment and the
yeah.
story that they were trying to tell with this and the
Well,
idealism behind it.
I think that makes it even more gross and maddening. Is that you see these animals and they're adorable and fun, and this is what they do to like innocent, non-threatening animals, and this is like the type of treatment they receive just because they're docile and they're easy to handle, right? And that's what's maddening about it is like people that are more powerful taking advantage of uh, people that are more trusting and and taking advantage of that and for their own benefit and 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 it's kind of sad, really. Like, and you get that sentiment a lot, especially with the animals, how they interact, especially Bandit, how he's, despite everything, he's still very loyal, very friendly. Like that part when you said where he tries to save the man after the train goes, the accident with the train, tries to save him even though he's dead. He doesn't realize it, but he's like, I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy, right? He just wants to be a good dog and help people. So it's really sad that you know
And then that's another sad moment is after they eat the kid's dad. They shot the number three. When he's like just running and saying bad dog. He like knows that he did bad, but like
bad.
there was
Yeah,
nothing else that he could have done.
you got
Like
it
yeah,
done.
there's
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of really good gut punches in this. Which
yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of a cop out, but like it's the type of thing you can only pull with not cop out. That's a bad way to put it, but it's the type of gut punch you can only pull off by using adorable animals. Like Garth
Hmm.
Ennis did a similar thing. Like he did this zombie comic called Rover Red Charlie, which is probably the most emotional and tragic zombie comic I've ever read. It really gut punches me too. But that one's about three little dogs trying to make it through the zombie apocalypse
Zombie
and trying
apocalypse.
to figure out what happened to their human friends and why they're
Okay.
and it's tragic, man. He really went for your gut in it, man. He went to gut punch you, much like Grant did with this book. So yeah, I really like the way that when people figure out how to effectively tell stories without using human characters and make it the most emotional books you've ever read. I really find that
Yeah.
interesting.
What was that one called? The Ennis book? Rover,
Rover Red Charlie. It's
Rover,
an Avatar
Red,
book.
Charlie. Okay, I've
Yeah,
never heard of that one.
you never heard
Yeah.
of it?
No.
Oh, it's one of my favorites of his. But yeah, it's pretty unknown. But if we ever do a Ennis month, that's definitely gonna be a book I was gonna recommend just because
So basically,
um
that's the three names of the animals in it: Rover, Red, and
yeah,
Charlie. Yeah.
it
Okay.
was the three dogs.
Cool. The three dogs. Because when I go to PI, I'm going to that comic shop, so I'm gonna go bin diving in the basement there. He's gonna tell his employees to let me in the basement, and he's gonna just let me. He's like, if you want to spend the afternoon down there going through back issue boxes and stuff, so I'll put that on my list and see if he has it. I'll try to pick it up.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like this. Like I said, man, it's very emotional. It's definitely gonna choke you up. It got me pretty teary. You know what I mean? And I,
Mm. Yeah. I mean, like it just goes to show Grant can do like a straight up, just sentimental, heartfelt story. He doesn't just do these weird, surrealist, existential kind of stuff. Like he can deliver a really good, heartfelt story that delivers an emotional punch, like this one did. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, Grant has a lot of range. I was getting a little bored of him, like back when I thought that that's all he could do was the psychedelic trippy stuff. But then when I found books like Happy and like We3 and V Monorama and like
Mhm.
Sebastian O, I was just like, okay, wow, this dude has a wicked range, and
Mm.
he can also do really good superhero comics too. Unlike a
Like
lot
the
of his other
Superman and Batman, yeah,
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 unlike a lot of his other British invasion guys who, like, when they write Batman and Superman, you can tell they're just there for the check.
for
Like,
the
I
paycheck.
love,
Yeah,
I
mm,
love Ennis and a couple of
yeah,
them other guys, but like when like they're writing a big two, like big superhero book, like they're so not into it. Whereas Grant, on the other hand, I feel that he really does try to put his heart and soul into most of it,
mm,
even if like I don't appreciate, like what he tried to do
yeah,
with some of his stuff with his superhero work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And this, like, if you're an animal lover, if you have pets and everything, this is definitely a book that will hit your emotional your heartstrings, and
Yeah,
you'll enjoy it. And it's a quick read because it's 3 issues. I thought it was 4, so when I found out it was 3, and it's cute, right? Because it's 3 main characters, 3 issues. It's fun. It's fun. I think he had a lot of fun. Like it seems like he had a lot of fun writing this. Like
well, and it's
just
definitely one of his most well loved and respected books. I mean,
yeah,
like people who know this book, everybody who knows this book loves it. I mean, like it's just if you mention it and somebody knows what it is, like you're just gonna, I'll just break down and just start going into it because it's a touchstone. It's almost like the Goonies of comic books or something like that. It's that well just respected and loved by everybody that knows it.
and it came pretty late into his career too. Like this came out in what 2000.
Yeah, this was one of the later Vertigo books he did.
Yeah, 2000 what 13? Earlier than
I
that
think
even, eh?
yeah,
2006 maybe.
yeah. This was around when I moved from California, so yeah, I'd say like 2006.
2006. So I mean, it's still pretty old, but for Grant Morrison, he was already doing comics for a long time, right? By this point, because he started at DC what in the mid to late 80s. So
I think
man,
that
like, yeah,
I think this was he did this around the same time he was finishing up his Batman shit, or like when he was doing all that Batman stuff.
yeah, yeah. Because how long did he work on Batman and Robin for? That went till what, almost
Well,
the
he
teens?
wrote he worked on that whole era of Batman for a long time.
Yeah.
Like the death of Batman and the rebirth of Batman, like he wrote the shit out of that was a like 5 year.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
because I
then
think his
from there he went and he did Justice League after that. So like he
yeah.
was just like DC's guy there for a good 8 years, a decade, somewhere around there.
What was his last major comic work? Like, what was the last thing he worked on that was like what was the last thing he put out? I know he put out a novel recently, but
Um
what was the last comic that he put out? Like, was it the
he
Batman
puts
and
out like
Robin?
a no, he's put out just like a year ago he put out
The
Superman and
Proctor.
the yeah, he did Superman and the Authority. He's done a
Okay,
bunch of weird little things here and there. He's put out a
during the
couple
pandemic, he did the Proctor Valley Road, but that he co-wrote with someone else. Uh,
in like
yeah.
2018 and 2020 he did more books for Klaus. Like he's just worked here or there, but yeah, he hasn't really done anything like iconic or epic. I think he's just been having like popping out doing little fun things that pique his interest at
Well,
the
his
moment.
novel just came out last year too, so he was probably devoting quite
Yeah.
a bit of time to that as well. So
He's a strange guy. I love him though. Like he's actually, as a person, is as interesting or more interesting than most of the shit he's written. Like he's just a neat dude to read about and learn about. Like I
Yeah,
was telling you, like he's got some really interesting belief systems and thought processes. Like God bless Grant Morrison.
yeah. So, creative people often do. Like they're usually cut from a different cloth, right? So, yeah,
I think you'll like We3. It's like Homeward Bound meets Akira. Like that's the
yeah,
neatest way I can kind of put it.
yeah.
Like
Like Homeward Bound, like a fucked up version of Homeward Bound, you know? Like Grant, if Grant Morrison did Homeward Bound, it would be We3,
there
basically.
are some tinges of, man. What was that movie called with the cyborg Rottweiler? The dad was watching it on Friday. The Run, Mr. Postman, run! He's gonna bite your ass, Mr. Postman.
Oh, I don't
What was
remember.
that
I don't
horror movie with the dog? Like,
with the dog.
yeah, with
The
Lance
dog was a robot,
Hendrickson.
or
Yeah, the dog was a real, but it was like a Rottweiler. It came out in like,
oh shit, I don't know. That was like an '80s, early '90s flick, right?
yeah, early '90s. Like Man's
And
Best Friend. I'm think like
yes, and then
sounds
the
right.
poster
Yeah,
was kind of half of his face was ripped, so half is like a Rottweiler and the other half is robot on the, like the
yeah.
cover of the VHS. Yeah, yeah,
It
okay, I
it's got
remember now.
a little bit of that with the bull mastiff, but not
Mm.
too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, like
It's got like the cover was like the Terminator version of a dog, like but with the yeah. Okay, I know which movie you're talking about now. I remember. Yeah,
but as a cat lover, Cookie, I think you'll really like Tinker in this book.
yeah. Tinker's definitely he definitely nails the personality of a cat for sure. Yeah, really well. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
like if you're looking to get into Grant Morrison, like this, We3 is usually like the gateway to his work that I usually tell people because it's accessible. It's got
yeah.
some gnarly parts to it, but at the end of the day, it's just a really cute, fun book that
Mhm.
it gut punches you, but like it balances very well between the
Mhm.
drama and the fun. So it's
Yeah,
not just
yeah.
it doesn't just leave you bummed out.
It has a lot of action too. If you like a book that has a lot, each issue has quite a bit of action. So, I mean, if you like action sequences, this book has quite a few. So you won't be disappointed from that front. Yeah. So yeah, We3, man. That was it's a quick read too. So like if
Yeah, I think if
yeah,
you taking your time with the book, like it should take you maybe 20 minutes at most to get through.
yeah, for 3 issues, yeah. So
But I
yeah,
mean, at the same time, you almost feel like you watched a film, though. Like
it
it's
is.
very
Yeah.
filling. You know, like you feel you viewed a whole narrative with it. You don't feel like you were shorted anything.
And it's very cinematic too. Like
Yeah,
like the panels, the way Frank Whitley lays out the panels, the story. It's quite cinematic. So yeah,
yeah, you could see it very easily as a film while you're looking through it. Like I'm
yeah.
hoping that like Netflix could do it. Like I would say like because I don't think you it would cost too much to do a film of this, and
Especially now with the
with the
like,
CG 3D stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's a lot more affordable for studios now. Uh, hey to Manny, hey to Elle, both in the chats. How's it going? Mm.
Everybody show up when when we're almost done.
Yeah, well that's all right. They could catch it on replay too. I mean, yeah, and
Oh, you
so
Bart.
so before we sign off, we just got to remind people that Friday is going to be our 50th episode of the Pink Buzz, the show that started it all. So yeah, we have it should be fun. It's going to be a pretty chill episode where we've been pulling clips to revisit some of the more funny, more memorable moments of the first 50 episodes of Pink Buzz, as well as Pink Spots and Buzz Bites. So, I mean, we have 50 episodes of Pink Buzz, but overall, we probably have close to 100 episodes of content that we've put out now. So,
Around
yeah,
80, I'd say.
yeah, close to 80 ish. Yeah. So, yeah, so it'll be fun. We're going to have some guests. Cookie should be there. Elle should be there. Uh, they gave us. I asked people that are going to be on what their favorite moments were, so I was pulling some clips. So we'll share that with everyone. Should get a few good laughs and should have a good time. So yeah. So if you're watching this and it isn't Friday yet, come hop on Friday at 9 o'clock. We'll be
Yeah, we might even open the panel, have some other people come on,
yeah,
say what's
yeah,
up.
yeah, 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 man. So if you want to come and just hang out, chill, come hop on and then whatever, man. There's no rules on Friday.
And then next week, like we said, we're going to be talking about my favorite Grant Morrison book. We're going to be talking
Yep.
about Happy
Happy
by
on Tuesday.
him and Derek Robertson, which is so much fun. I can't wait to get into that with
Yeah,
y'all. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then,
and then
the last book we'll cover is Doom Patrol, but we'll have to cover that at the beginning of March because I'm going to be gone for 4 or 5 days
I
to
thought we were doing
PEI.
Frankenstein, Seven Soldiers.
Tuesday next. What's the dates now? What is it?
I don't know, man. You know the dates. Like I thought
Where
we thought we were gonna do. It's cool if you want to do Doom Patrol. That's fine too.
well, I thought we were gonna do Frankenstein and Doom Patrol.
Okay, we could do
Yeah.
both.
Okay.
Sweet.
I gotta check the dates now. I can't. Is it next week I'm leaving or the week after? I don't know. I'll have to check the calendar now. I'm not
Well,
sure.
whenever you go, I hope you have fun. Like,
Yeah. I better not miss the boat, man. I'm gonna fucking
yeah, straight up.
I'm gonna fucking screw up my dates and not end up going. I better go check the calendar. Well, I've been sick, so I haven't been working, so my schedule's all fucking all over the place, right? So I missed a whole week of work, so it's fucking screwed up my whole schedule. So yeah,
Yeah, being sick is never fun, dog. I hear
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that was We3, man. A great book. I really enjoyed it, and I think most people will, especially pet
If you don't
lovers.
like this book, you don't have a heart, man. Like
Yeah,
in
you're
my
probably,
opinion, you're probably a serial killer. Like,
and you might enjoy it if you're a serial killer because of the way they treat the animals. So even serial killers will enjoy it. So there's something for everyone.
Joey Brightside over here. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. So yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks to anyone that catches this on the replay. We appreciate all the viewers that tune in and share with us. So
Hope to
yeah,
see y'all
much
on
appreciated.
Friday.
Friday, yes, sir.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Got to get down on Friday. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
Sequential's in
sequential
the house.
shows up right at the end. Oh well. Yeah. Got to remember, guys, when we do the midweek episodes, they're only like 45 minutes. So yeah. All right. See y'all Friday, man.
See y'all Friday. Take it easy.
Have a good week.